Hello my friends, and welcome to another pick a card reading where I'll be looking at what colour is calling you today. So you have 3 piles to choose from as usual: pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3. Timestamps will be in the description box below. What colour is calling you? And I'll see you at your reading. Bye. So, hello pile 1 and welcome to your reading. So you chose this card here. Wow, green. Revitalize your nervous system. I also get something about grounding, earthing. In the northern hemisphere, we're just about to go into spring. So there's this sense of renewed life, energy, something about you connecting to nature that will enable you to really kind of ground and also nourish yourself. I do also get the sense of new growth, of sprouting. So if you're making any kind of new decisions or putting something into action, this is a really good time as well to do it. This reading is timeless, but the time it was done is at the beginning of the new moon in Pisces. We're 2 days into the new moon in Pisces at the beginning of 2023, around about end of February. So it is very much a time of new growth, of new beginnings, of revitalization, of doing things to really help yourself and nourish your nervous system. I'm getting vagus nerve as well, so if there's anything to do with that that you're working with, maybe looking at that. But otherwise, yeah, that seems to be the first color that's coming up. I've chosen like a few decks where we're looking at different like where they're all connected with color in some way. So let's have a look. Okay. Right. So, wow, you have the cosmic flower. So we've got 31 and 18. That's 4 and 18. The frequency of the cosmic flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core in which we pour our magnificence out into the world. Okay. And then we've got the 7th house, which is relationships. And also the house of Libra. And then we have ideation. Wow. With this kind of like weird orangey. It's a lighter, it's kind of like almost like a coral, that colour. It's not quite orange. I know it might look orange. I'll leave these for afterwards. But yeah, like a kind of orangey colour. So the colours that are coming to me are something that's, I mean, I don't know, I'm just getting very much a plant vibe. Almost from the seed growing into something. So for you to remember where you came from, where you kind of originated from, something about you remembering this space, remembering that place so that you can actually like extract the best information from there. It's also seeming that something is calling you, something is reminding you and telling you to go back to nourishing yourself. I have got chakra cards, but like in the respect of green is associated with the heart chakra. This color could also be associated with the heart chakra. We do also have it present here, but it is like red usually is associated with the base chakra, Muladhara chakra, the root chakra. But if we look on or if we think about plants as well, plants nourish, they are nourished by their roots. So making sure that the root is really healthy is going to be very important. So maybe there might be something for you to look at in the respect of like, you know, how you are rooting, how you are connecting to the thing that is giving you nourishment. Are you eating the right foods? Are you fulfilling your basic needs? Essentially, that's what I'm getting here. I am getting, because we've got like 2 9s, we've got 2 9s and a 4. So I'm thinking that either if some of you are looking for a partnership, or you're looking for something, or you are in a partnership and kind of maybe there's some sense of compromise going on, regardless of whether you're not in a whether you're in a relationship or not. There's some kind of compromise happening here. It wasn't reversed, so it seems that this is like a kind of journey of discovery in the respect of you understanding what your own personal needs and boundaries are. But I think there's even more stuff to be done. I mean, there's always good work to be done, right? But this, I think specifically, this is telling you to nourish yourself and make sure that you are green, luscious and beautiful before you start putting yourself out there, whether or not you're in a relationship or not. Even if you're in a relationship, sometimes we can like neglect ourselves to help the other person. So it's always about some kind of element of partnership that's going to help us to be the best that we can be. Ideation, the first thing that comes to mind about this is, I remember being with someone that felt that when you're in a relationship, you don't need to work at it. You just need to, it should be easy. And we all know that that's a load of BS, don't we? Like, it's not really that. You know, all relationships need work. All of them do. They require some sense of give and take. They require you understanding the person. It requires the other person understanding you, you know. A lot of us, particularly, I can imagine a lot of the people that come to my readings, and you know, they are looking at themselves. They're looking at what they can change themselves. They're looking from that sense of self-empowerment. But on the other hand as well, it's also taking responsibility for what truly is your fault or your problem, you know. And if we've got a sense of ideation about something, that means that we're placing it on a level that's higher than ours. And I don't think that that's necessary. So I think it's important to consider whether or not, like, we really do, how are we going to, like, really consider ourselves within this equation? How are we going to consider that we are just as much a part in this relationship as the other person? There's no kind of and you are this cosmic flower, you are this beautiful being, you are part of this equation. So it's really important for you to remember that. And I don't know, if you're worrying a lot, which comes hand in hand with ideation, if you're worrying, or like, you know, thinking that maybe you're not good enough, maybe this is too good, maybe this is like, oh my God, how am I going to get to this level? Your nervous system gets shot to bits. A really good exercise for like nervous system stuff is some Qigong exercises. So do research that. But let's have a look at, I'm looking at this deck first. Let's have a look at what the tarot has to say about the colour that is calling you, and what are the messages from this colour can give to you. The frequency of the cosmic flower, I'm just reading this out. The frequency of the cosmic flower activates our remembrance of the place we call home, the core from which we pour our magnificence out into the world. Don't know, I just felt like saying that. Okay, so we have the Five of Cups reversed. We have the King of Cups. We have the Moon. We have the Six of Pentacles reversed. Thank you. I want to... Alright, I'll do 7. Why not? 7 of Wands reversed. Sorry, 6 of Wands reversed. 7 of Cups reversed. And the High Priestess reversed. Okay. Okay, that's a little bit high. Thank you for allowing me to do this. So, I'll fix that in a sec. So, what I'm getting initially here is that you are actually, I think with this green colour, you are actually starting to understand that no, I can't do any more BS anymore. I really do have to put myself forward. I really do have to put myself first. I've been putting you first for quite a bit of time, whether it's a situation or whether it's a person. This could be with kids, this could be with your partner, this could be with your family, this could be with your job, this could be with many things. But what I'm seeing is that you are starting to realize that you can't do this anymore, and you're starting to put yourself first, which is why the King of Cups is there. The King of Cups is that kind of, resilience, that's wanting to kind of, that is trying to keep it together. I don't know if you've had any kind of like issues mentally, just in terms of coping. We've got a couple of Scorpio cards here. So these two are Scorpio. Is that moon? Bear me 1 second, my love. Sorry about that. So my friends, essentially we've got quite a lot of moon energy here. This is moon. Oh, sorry, the king. We've got the moon here. We've also got the moon here. We've also got the moon here. So there's a lot that's going on under the surface. I don't know if I just get burnout, to be honest with you. I get somebody who's trying to keep everything under wraps, everything under control, and it's just not quite happening. This is why, and I always think of when you have to nourish your nervous system, it's synonymous with high levels of cortisone, which are occurring within the blood, which is helping to raise blood pressure levels, also causing a possibility of kind of stress increase, and just being stressed out basically. But I think you're recognizing fully that the balance is not there. And I think, your intuition is guiding you towards this actual step of you taking better care of yourself. I think you're really on point with this, Pile 1. So kudos to you. You've also got 7, and I don't know if that's because, I keep on calling that 7 of Wands. So it's interesting. It may be a gateway to the 7 of Wands, which is meaning that you're having to rise up from this situation. But I do think that maybe you're finding that you're not succeeding in certain things. Maybe things are not turning out the way that they should be. And it's interesting, we got 2 6s and then we got a 7. And I keep on thinking of the 7. So I think what that means is that there is something where you have done that before. You have done this process before. For example, you've done a particular workout before and it's worked. It's been great. It's been really good and it's worked for you. But now when you go back to that workout, it doesn't quite work out as well as you thought it would work out. So what I mean is that what you were doing back then may not work now. You might have to rejig it. You might have to do something different. You might have to think about it differently. Now, you're not... You understand this. You understand what's going on. You also are very clear about things. There may be some kind of personal habits that you have indulged over this time. And it might be because, when you get in a relationship, sometimes things like that happen, You end up having that sense of comfort that people do. They don't feel that they need to kind of, do stuff because they're like, oh yeah, somebody loves me, so it's all good. And, or they're in a relationship and it's, they don't need to try as much. Not to say that they won't. It happens. I'm definitely a victim of that. So, it's the complacency that occurs within a relationship. So I think it's really important to just remember that. But I think you are in the process of remembering that. I think that's why you're here at this reading. High Priestess reversed. I think that, this news will not only come to the surface about what you have been neglecting, but also I think you're going to receive a sign about something that you might have tried to suppress, and now it's starting to come forward. It may be recognized by your partner. So I don't know why I reached for those. Let's have a look at these. Okay. Let's see how far these go out. Because these cards are a bit chunky. Okay, right. So, clarifying the 5. Okay. Clarifying the 5 of Cups is the Ace of Cups. So, the 5 of Cups reversed comes, it's almost like you're going backwards. So you're going back from, so you have the 2 cups, you're taking the actual like stock that you've got these 2 cups. You're not being disappointed about what you've lost in terms of stuff. There may be some family stuff that's come up, like you may, like maybe with like yeah, I'm just thinking like family, and it hasn't really worked out, but you do have some core relationships that really help, and that's going to give you the energy that you need to move forward, the motivation and the clarity that you need. Clarifying the King of Cups, we have the Queen of Cups, very interesting. And this is this really weird Queen of Cups that I don't know if you, those of you that know my readings, I really used to enjoy using this deck, and now it's come back into play. I use it in my dailies quite often. But this Queen of Cups, you can see it's not your conventional Queen of Cups. It's a Queen of Cups that I think has given everything to the outside. And I think that's what it is. You start to realize that. I do also think that there may be a possibility that the burden may be shouldered. So if you are with a partner, or maybe you have like a female companion, or somebody with a strong female energy, doesn't necessarily have to be female, but somebody who's got a strong nurturing energy in that respect is very they will help you. King and Queen is very powerful together, so this means that there's some kind of amalgamation going on and some kind of unity that is happening, as opposed to being on your own all the time. We do have the 2 there, and then we also have the Ace here, so very good in terms of like what this color is trying to tell you. Green is telling you that you're being nourished, and you've got the opportunity to be nourished, and help is on its way. The Moon is clarified by the 7 of Wands, which is what I kept on saying here. There is this, you know, I feel like you feel like you're overwhelmed. There's this sense of like, all at once, all right, okay, I've got this, but still it's a little bit difficult, it's a little bit painful. I kind of wish I didn't kind of do it this way, but hey, I've done it this way. It is what it is. So yeah, I think but I think it's also because I do like the Moon when it's upright. It's kind of like a revolution of or a realization even of, you know, kind of where you've been and where you need to kind of get to, and where you need to kind of move forward. We've got 4 cards here. Great. Okay, so this one, the Fool reversed in the 6 of Pentacles. So with the 6 of Pentacles being clarified by this Fool reversed, it means to me that you are needing to, you're actually learning when to say no. You're learning when to say no. You're learning when is the best time to go forward, and then when is the best time to not. Because this 6 of Pentacles reversed to me tells me that there's a re-establishment of a balance that has been out of balance. It means that, you know, there's been some, you know, where you have either been very charitable and you've been giving things to people, or you've been encouraging, you've been very, very generous to people. And then now what you're doing is now you're understanding that that can't be the case anymore. You can't do that anymore. You're going to have to set some boundaries in place for your own health and your well-being. So that's what's going on here. With the Fool reverse, not only will you take that energy going forward, but as I said, you'll also be saying no. You'll be like, right, no, I'm not going to be saying yes to everything so that I can help everyone and everything at the same time. I need to put myself first. So the 7 of Wands is clarified by the Tower reversed. So I just think that this is something that you're starting to understand, things that didn't work out, things that didn't. The Tower is, there's still some clearing to be done, I feel, in this respect, where things may have not have turned out as well as you thought. So for example, like you bake a cake and it's like, you follow the recipe and it's amazing and you think that you've got everything right. It just doesn't turn out right. Just doesn't happen. Doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the recipe. You know, you've read the reviews, loads of people have used the recipe and it's fine, but it means that there's just something about maybe your own energy that needs to be reestablished, and needs to be kind of, you know, you need to reconsolidate and have a look at what are the other ingredients that are going into that recipe, as opposed to just the ones that are on the paper that you're putting in manually. What else is happening in terms of like, what was your mindset while you were making the cake? What was happening while you were doing things? You know, did you do it with your full attention? Did you do it with like where was your mind? You know, it's really important. Where was your physicality? How were you doing it? You know, this is what the lack of success here is attributing to this Tower reversed. So it may be also, and I don't do health readings, but I am seeing a lot of health here considered with the green. So I am just thinking like, do get yourself checked out, pile 1, just to be safe. If there's any like little niggling things, do get them checked out. 7 of Cups reversed is clarified by the Hierophant reversed. So I think you're understanding that you have to do things a different way. You know, it's something that, like what I said before, the kind of thing that came up before about you having to do things in a different way when it did work for you before. Maybe years before you were able to do it. And the reason why I use that example of like a workout is because there was a certain workout that I did when I was, younger, in my 30s. And in my early 30s, about 10 years ago, and it worked amazingly. But now that doesn't work now. It really doesn't do the thing that I want it to do. It doesn't make my body feel the way that I want it to make it feel. So now I'm having to relearn and readapt to kind of like physical practices that really help me feel good about the way I am about my body. So it's that kind of aspect that's coming forward here that you're having to reconsider. Unlearning what you've learned and then relearning something. High Priestess reversed is clarified by the 5 of Swords reversed. So, I mean, you know, you're a fighter, Pile 1. You are my fighters. Pile 1s, I always resonate with Pile 1s quite strongly. I always feel like Pile 1 is my pile. But like, you guys are the fighters. You are the real fighters. And you have, you know, you've got this thing where you need to keep on going, and you're not going to be defeated by you know, anything that's kind of going on. But please take care of yourself, and please just make sure that you're not compromising yourself in a way that's going to be that's going to be dangerous for you. I think you just have to be really, really sure, and you know, time is needed for something to bloom, for something to grow. So give yourself that time. Give yourself time to bloom into the cosmic flower. Don't compare yourself either to your partner or to others. It's more likely to be your partner. And also, I just got the thing of like, if you think that you need to be in a particular state in order to meet your partner, and you're not in that state and you're giving yourself a hard time about that, chuck that in the bin. Chuck that in the bin. Okay, so to close out the reading, I've got some chakra cards, so let's have a look. So we've got Contemplation with Spirituality and Mercury and Communication. We've got Security, which is Survival. And then we've got that red chakra as well, and the Moon, Security. And then we've got Love, which is Self-Acceptance. So these are all themes that I mentioned throughout the reading. More so with the love and the self-acceptance, you know, understanding where you are and not having to kind of adhere to any kind of expectations of yourself. In the respect of survival, that would be the base chakra stuff that I was talking about you making sure that you've got your needs sorted and that your emotions are secure in what you're doing. You know what's good for you, not other people. Do you know what I mean? It's more about you remembering that you know what's best for you. And also knowing the difference of when you need to change something, because then that's when Mercury comes into the spiritualities. It's almost like having the wisdom to know the difference between what was good then and what is good now, and what you're doing wrong for yourself and what you're doing right for yourself. So there's that kind of it's really good actually, because you've got you know, Muladhara, Anahata and Sahasrara. You know, you've got 3 really good chakras to work with, like, you know, your bottom, your middle and your top. So you've got like those 3 kind of baseline chakras to work with. It's interesting how this one is in the middle though. So I'm thinking root. It's root. The root has to be really healthy. So get that root healthy. And 2 more cards that came out from the Rainbow Brain Skull. The right ends. Right ends choose arm position. That's really interesting. I'm going to double check what that means, because I don't know what he means by that. So what this means is basically you can either choose to be on the ride petrified in fear, or you can choose to be enjoying it, you know. So which one are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to be like really happy and joyful and enjoy the ride while it lasts, or are you going to be really scared of what's going to happen? And then the other card we've got is throw stuff at wall, see what sticks. If nothing sticks, hang out in pile. Yeah, let me double check that as well. Let me see. Wow. Well, this is actually exactly what I was saying about old patterns and about things that happened before. And if nothing sticks, so basically if the patterns that you're doing or the patterns that you're engaging in, if they don't work, have a look at them, see what's going on. Try and analyze, like, why is it that they didn't stick? Why did they not work? You may find the key to moving forward in that pile. So pile 1, I hope you liked that. That was really cool reading. I really enjoyed it. Did you? If you did like it, give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. And I also do daily readings, so please do check. So yeah, daily readings. And also if you'd like a personal reading, please do get in touch. But otherwise, my darlings, take care. Really joyful, colourful reading to do for you today. And have a beautiful one. See you soon. Bye. Hi, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose lavender. Oh, I love lavender. I hope you like it too. Lavender is so peaceful. It just helps you to just connect to some higher realms. It's just so beautiful. It is the basis for so many fragrances as well. So like really famous fragrances. So I think that's really important to note. So lavender is calling you. There's a sense of calm, serenity, peace, connection to the divine, something that's going to help you relax, something that's going to help you feel good about yourself and also connect to yourself. We've also got number 8 here. 4 + 4 = 8. So then there's that sense of kind of just being really in a state of maturity. Lavender is a mature smell. It's not a baby smell. It's not something about new life, or it's about something that where you have reached a certain level of understanding in somewhere. It's a clarifying smell. It's a mature smell. Okay, so let's have a look at your other cards. You got, wow, solar plexus chakra. It was reversed. The frequency of the solar plexus chakra, the yellow flower of life, supports our sense of ourself, our personal power, our willpower, as well as knowing of who we are and what our contribution is to the whole. It was reversed, so I will leave it reversed. And then we have your astrology, which is solar flares. Very interesting with that kind of comparison there. I think it's, yeah, there may be some kind of stuff that's happening there in that connection with solar flares and the solar plexus chakra being reversed, and lavender will maybe really help you to calm that. Lavender is very good for sleep, for putting things to rest. There may be something overactive that's happening. And then we've got balance. Interesting. Okay. So very interesting cards, pile 2. Something that's quite balancing. Something about connecting. What I'm getting here is that this central point is not center. It's almost like when you've got like a seesaw, right? And the seesaw needs, you know, for it to pivot like correctly, this needs to be in the middle. But right now it feels like it's like that, or it's like that. Do you know what I mean? It feels like it's on the edge. And with this balance card, it's like you're trying to reestablish this sense of balance. I really do feel that so far the people who've come to this reading have a real understanding that there's something that's slightly out of balance here. So they're having to recalibrate. But also what I'm getting here is that we've got a really beautiful balance of colours. We've got green, yellow and purple. And then we've also got this kind of solar flares energy. So this, and then here, this is this graduation of the rainbow, which is including everything in its kind of, in its image of the solar flare, which, you know, you normally refer to it as just sun. But so I don't know if you're feeling like you're lashing out in any way, or you're feeling like your emotions are rising, maybe getting the better of you, maybe disempowering yourself in some way. There may be something like that going on, and you're understanding that there is a need to recalibrate and rebalance something. Let's see what the cards have to say. But lavender turning up is asking you to invoke a sense of calm and peacefulness within yourself. And it's asking you to connect with the divine that is within yourself. And maybe you haven't been connecting with that divine place. Maybe you've been connecting with you know, your kind of middle world, your 3D reality self, you know. We've got the world reversed. We've got the two of swords reversed. Okay. We've got the four of cups reversed. Oh, this is interesting, pile 2. The four of... Oh, okay, I see. The four of swords. And this one is coming out like both ways. So I mean, like, it will be like that, but, you know, I'm going to put it upright for now. But I'm going to be very well aware of its shadow aspect. And it's making complete sense. Similar, in a way, it's quite similar to pile 1, but it's a different thing. Like, there's a burnout kind of happening, but it's not for other people. It seems like this is like more for the career, if anything. Yeah, for sure. Okay, just make sure that's all on camera. Beautiful. So, yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if you're like the kind of people that don't really like, you don't like, you don't stop, basically. That's what I'm seeing here. Interesting, we go from the 4 reversed to the 8 reversed. And it's almost like, you know, pile 2, like, you know what you're doing wrong, but you're just choosing just to kind of like do your thing. I get the image of the people that like live in London quite a lot, or maybe it's a city thing, I don't know. But like when you live in those areas, you know, it's a very high-paced lifestyle. It's not a easy lifestyle. It's a lifestyle where you work hard, you play hard, and then, you know, you relax hard. It's kind of, it's really weird. You know, if you work hard, then you play hard, so you go out and you do like really cool things to kind of like, you know, socialize and get involved with people. And then you relax hard, so you may go to a spa and then completely do nothing. You know, it's like these extremes that are going on. Now, I mean, we are ending on 2 cards. We've got the World reversed, and then we've also got the Chariot reversed. Those are our major arcanas here. We don't have any others, but still, there is some kind of like stop that's happening here. This kind of, I don't know, I just see this hamster wheel continually going on and on and on. And this is kind of like a bit of a band-aid. Like, you know that things are going, that things are like this, you know that you're burning the candle at both ends, but you're still choosing to just do the same thing. Oh, I just realized, wow, 2, 4, 8, interesting. Times 2 by 2, and then times that as well. So I don't know, there's this increase to me that's saying that you are not taking care of yourself, pile 2. That's why lavender's come out. Lavender is the king, is the king or the queen. It's one of the most master herbs, basically. So, and solar flares, that's a strong energy. So it's this is full on telling you to stop and relax, to just stop. Stop, otherwise you might need to stop. Stop, otherwise you might need to stop, yeah? That's what I'm getting. Pile 2. And I do see, because I feel like you're chasing the money. You're chasing the stability. Is this kind of, you know, you're wanting to make sure that you're secure, and I hear you so much, because why wouldn't you? Look at what's going on in the world today. Like, it's very worrying for many of us to think about like our financial security right now, and but the peacefulness of lavender is going to really help you. If you can get a lavender plant, you know, rather than the oil, or, you know, an actual lavender plant, and plant it somewhere, like even if you live in a flat and you've got a window box or something, plant some lavender in there, and then watch the little buzzy bees come to it. It's the most beautiful thing, and it's so wonderful. Lavender is so powerful. So I definitely take that. The colour is really speaking to you here, pile 2. Solar flares are pretty intense. It's also the number 3. 3 is and interesting, we've got another 8 there as well. So 3 is the Empress energy. So I definitely feel like there is a possibility of burnout here. And also like a disempowerment thing. You may be working from some kind of old kind of, I wouldn't go as far as saying it's ancestral, but I think that maybe these patterns of like inadequacy, or something about you not feeling strong enough to do something, or powerful enough to do something, may be a part to play in this. And what's happening is that then there's this, I don't think we've got any solar flares going on, but it's the idea of a solar flare, like the idea of it kind of coming up and like that kind of explosion. And then it's kind of reminding you of what you're not looking for, what's out of balance. And then you kind of look at the energy of lavender trying to reestablish that balance. What I'm finding quite interesting here is that we've got the Chariot reversed here, and you've got this kind of like navy, lavender, indigo kind of color here in the sky of the Chariot. And then you've also got it here with this rest energy, and this is to do with like this starry night sky. The Chariot isn't usually at night. The Chariot is usually during the day in the traditional Rider-Waite. So the message I'm getting here is that maybe your sleep is not that great, and you need, maybe the quality of your sleep maybe can improve to help you become stronger, because sleep is really important. It's really important. If you're working like night shifts or anything like that, please take care, because it has been scientifically proven that it is one of the most carcinogenic things that you can do to your body. So just be aware of that. And if you are working nights, make sure that you're taking certain precautions to help your body like cope. Yeah, and I speak of that from personal experience. Okay, so we've got the Justice reversed, clarifying the world reversed. Okay, so something might have happened that caused you to like kind of work tirelessly, to think that this is never over. If some of you are working for some charitable causes that you know, they can be really tough, really consuming. It's almost like, when is the work ever done? Particularly if you're working in service to others. So I'm getting that sense of like, if you do work with a charity or someone like that, or some kind of organization like that, non-profit organization, or NGO, you know, it can seem that your job is ongoing. It's something that doesn't stop. Wow, Magician reversed. Okay. Queen of Cups reversed. Queen of Cups upright. Yeah, I mean, like, there's definitely a sense of burning out. I feel like with this Magician reversed, you're okay. I see the Pentacle. You're chasing the money. You're chasing the money at the sacrifice of the other things. And the wand is in action. The cup is reversed, and the sword is upright. So it's meaning that there are 3 elements that are in play that are working, but the emotions are being suppressed. Do we have any cups here? Yeah, we had the 4 of cups. Well, I mean, that's a very good suppression one as well. 4 as well. Interesting how we have a 4 and then a 4 and a 4, which is 8. So this is asking you to elevate beyond this, beyond the kind of material interpretation of what you're doing. I think it's also about thinking about the consequences. It's consequential, yeah, absolutely. Wow, 6 of Swords. Similar to pile 1, it's almost like realizing there are certain things that you did that are just not going to work. They're not going to work in the way that you think that they're like. You have to think of some other way that you're going to do it, and the way that you're doing it currently is not going to be the way that you think it is. It's not going to be the way. You have to think of something different. There has to be something that you're going to go away from, and you have to do it on your own. Usually the 6 of Swords is with other people, but this one doesn't have anybody. This is about you just doing your own thing, and you've got to go. And what I'm also seeing, there is shadow work here, because I'm also seeing like these are like mirrors. So it's almost like you're having to like leave behind illusions of yourself, of what you believed about yourself, and you're having to like walk that path. There may be somebody that's pushing you to this. You may have some kind of like person that's like causing you to do this. I do think that that you may be fighting against something that's a little bit like putting it into a bucket, or like basically you're trying to like bail out a boat that has a hole in it. And there's only so much you can do. There's only so much you can do. It's either that you're working for a charity that's causing that kind of thing where like whatever you do, it just seems like a never-ending battle, or you could be just chasing the dollar, or you could be chasing the lifestyle, and this is causing you to sacrifice like parts of yourself. This could even be a sense of soul breakage as well, and you going back to retrieve those parts of yourself so that you can like really kind of integrate like both the Queen of Pentacles truthfully, because the Queen of Pentacles was like that. When she's reversed, it's a sense of like kind of abandonment of home, not really being home for herself and those around her. There's also, with this peace symbol reversed, there's definitely no peace. It may be an illusion, but there isn't. And the bunnies are up in the top as well. And you've also got these mushrooms as well. You've got the fly agaric. So yeah, I would say that it's not a very good situation to be upside down. You're kind of teetering. You know, like when I said to you about that kind of like balance thing. You're on that edge. It's feeling like. It seems like it's okay, right? It seems like it's okay. But this Queen of Cups is a very particular Queen of Cups. It's not like your standard Queen of Cups who looks very voluptuous and very like, wow, she looks amazing. She doesn't look like that at all in this deck. She doesn't. She looks scant. She doesn't look like a queen. Her wings are tiny. And she looks like she's drained. Absolutely drained. Now, I associate this card with like narcissistic tendencies or whatever. It's very bloodsucky. It's very vampiric. So whatever this energy is, however it's manifesting, is draining you. And there's some denial. Sailing down denial. There's some kind of denial that's going on here. Lavender will wake you up from that. I'm telling you, lavender will give you a slap around the face. Lavender's really cool like that. And by the way, the reason why I laugh is because, you know, I know this. This is, you know, lavender is really good. It's really, really good. Wow, 7 of Wands. Seven of Wands, there is a lot going on. You know, you're trying to like meet deadlines. You're trying to like kind of live up to expectations. You're doing the best you can. And again, and also what I'm getting is that this is essential for your own kind of spiritual development and growth, which is really beautiful actually. So this is almost like a stepping stone to get where you need to go. Wonderful. Ah, the World, love it. Okay, so we've got the World clarifying the... So I think you know. I may not be telling you anything that you don't already know, pile 2. I think you know. I think you know what's going on. Sorry about the beeping if you can hear that. But like there's basically this kind of sense that you know that you're going to have to change some things. You know that you're going to have to do things. It's just a matter of when. When am I going to do it? When am I going to schedule in the time to change my lifestyle so that I can actually like look after myself a bit more? Because I do feel it. I do feel it. And then the Chariot reversed is clarified by the Hanged Man. Lovely. I like that a lot. So what I'm getting from that is that there's going to be a real opportunity for you to look at this in a different way. Unfortunately, and I don't mean it unfortunately, but I think is that thing. Sometimes you just don't realize until it gets to the point where it's quite an intense situation. So, and it happens with a lot of clients that I have. We call it the rusty nail syndrome. So what happens is when a client sits on the rusty nail, they will not get up from the seat. It's the idea, okay, not literal, but the idea that when people sit on a rusty nail, and it's uncomfortable, but they won't move from that discomfort until it hurts them so bad that they move. So it's that kind of idea. Oh, it's uncomfortable. Oh yeah, I'll live with it. It's really interesting. And I'll tell you, right, I was watching this documentary on the Fukushima incident, and which is about the when the tsunami happened in 2011 in Japan. The Fukushima power plant really got messed up. It got completely got pretty much destroyed. So but what happened was that even though apparently 0 people died, there was 0 body count on that, which I find absolutely astounding. Little tidbit for you there. But on the other hand, the company, I think they're called like TEPCO, which are like the Tokyo Electronic Company or something like that. They got told almost 5 years prior to the incident that their plant, or that the establishment did not have the protocols in place to be able to withstand. They had the protocols in place to withstand a tsunami, but they didn't have a protocol to withstand the tsunami being triggered by an earthquake. You know, several things happening at once. Okay, and because of that, that's why like everything went up the creek. So and a lot of the power plant is now in a state of decommissioning. So they had the opportunity to be able to stop what is called the second worst nuclear disaster in the history of the planet. They had the opportunity to do that, but they chose not to because they just ignored signs. They ignored people. There was several times when they were given warnings and they ignored it. So that's what that is about. that's why I'm laughing, because it is that, because he's not just hanging in the air, he's hanging over fire, and he seems like, oh yeah, this is all right. I'm telling you, just be aware of that. Just be aware. What's the decision you're going to make? What's the choice you're going to take? Okay, we've got one chakra card for you, pile 2. Communication, life direction. Wow. 5th chakra. Oof. Mars, my God. Okay, right. So you like... Now, we've got some good aspects in Mars going on at the moment. Also, check out like where your Mars is as well in your chart. But depending on where it is, like how you communicate to yourself and also to others, and your truth is going to be really important in you understanding where you want to go. I think this reassessment, or this assessment, not even a reassessment, just a current assessment of what's going on with your life right now in terms of how you are, how everything is in balance, because the power is out of whack. There's definitely something going on here, like in terms of like, I don't know if you're manipulating yourself or you're manipulating others or something's manipulating you. I don't know, but there's something going on here. And it's to do with materialism. It's to do with a materialistic kind of thing that's going forward. So there's something that needs to be communicated truthfully to you, and you need to be direct with yourself. Don't skirt around the fact. Be truthful with yourself, and that might be hard. It might take time. I'm just throwing it out there. Take what resonates, pile 2, discard the rest. And then here, oh my God, right? I've actually got this card in a limited edition print. It's amazing. Death is one of the characters I play, is just one character I play. My real name is change. I think everything is said in that card, really. Things will change regardless of whether or not you choose to like accept it or not, pile 2. And lavender is going to be there to cushion the blow. Tough message, pile 2. Quite a tough message, but it's an interesting message. It's an interesting message. And the thing is, what I get with you, pile 2, is that you're dealing with big guns. You're dealing with like big stuff. You're not dealing with little things. I think quite a lot of you have big jobs, like big jobs. And if you do that, and if you do, and you know, it also comes at a high price, which needs to be considered in terms of your own personal welfare. So I think that that's what needs to be considered here. Particularly with the power of the solar flare, particularly with the power of the solar plexus chakra. There's a lot here, you know, a lot of power here, a lot of power, and power needs to be managed accordingly. With compassionate love towards yourself as well as to those around you. But I think it's more, this is about the impact it has on you, not about other people. This is about how it's impacting you. So just be aware of that. Pile 2, I hope you enjoyed that reading. I hope it was useful. Share with me. Tell me what's going on. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. I do daily videos as well. Hit me up for a private reading if you wish. Email is down in the description box. But otherwise, my darlings, you take care and I'll speak to you soon. Lots of love. Bye. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So let's see what colour is calling you. Rose. Attract a relationship, eh? Deep and sensual. I like it. Matches the colour of my nails as well. Wow. I'm feeling something deep, passionate and sensual. I'm also seeing the folds of this rose as well. Like just these two kind of like spirals coming together and kind of forming together this sense of completion. There's that thing where like, you know, you can't attract a relationship unless like you kind of are feeling good and whole in yourself, or, you know, attracting the right relationship for yourself. So I think that that's what's going on here. Okay, let's see what your other cards have to say. Wow, we've got third eye chakra. I love that, with that purpley kind of ready, and that's like a kind of burgundy, isn't it? It's beautiful. The frequency of the third eye chakra, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and our inner knowing, our imagination and our psychic powers. And we've also got the flower of life. So we've got something going on with flowers here. And you got 2 of these actually. And you got prosperity. The frequency of prosperity supports our feeling of well-being by allowing the inclusion of everything that makes our body, mind, heart and soul and spirit sing. It invites us to express ourselves in joy and celebration of the abundance and riches that the universe provides. And that was reversed. So there's something that is blocking that. Maybe you don't believe that you deserve it. Such beautiful colours here with this as well. And I'm just seeing the tinges of the purple. Interesting. And then we've got 2... wow, you've got solar calm clarity, and then we have Aries, which is act, and then one more, illumination. Wow, can you see all of that? No, you can't. I'll put it on the other side then. Yeah, that's a bit better. So what's really interesting here is that I'm feeling like there's a sense of you not really seeing things as clear as you can be, but I think it's in relationship to yourself. I think it's how you see yourself. There may be a sense of, oh, hello, fly. There may be a sense of you not really looking as closely as you could at yourself. The solar calm, there's this sense of you being able to see things. I mean, it's interesting. Look at this. We've got like this round with this sun. We've got this round, kind of lots of round figures here. We've got this round. We've got the third eye. I mean, these ones, obviously, they are circles. But I don't know. We've just got a lot of round symbols here. And also with the horns as well, going round like that. So there's something about you being able to see something, to see the beauty in yourself, I'm thinking, pile 3. There's something about you needing to see that within yourself, needing to see the beauty within yourself, needing to see yourself as a rose, as a beautiful rose, something that's individual, something that's special, something that is deserving of love and is beautiful. That's what I'm seeing, pile 3. So let's have a look at what your tarot wants to say. Interesting, we've also got that as well with that spiral on the back. Okay. We've got the 5, wow, we've got the 5 of Cups reversed. This is exactly the same card that we had in this position, I think, for pile 1. The Emperor, the 7 of, sorry, I said the 6 of Swords, 6 of Wands, and I was saying the 7 of Wands as well with pile 1. The Queen of Wands, no, it's not reversed. The Queen of Wands, the Fool. It's too many. I just need 2 more. It wants to give you 3, pile 3. Yeah, I'll take these 2. Interesting. The World reversed and the Chariot reversed. My God. Pile 1 had exactly the same card reversed. These 2 are in exactly the same place, basically. How interesting. So, just make sure you can see all of that. Just about. So what I'm seeing here is that there's you've got a chance to take a risk. And this is about you being able to take a risk. I think you may have been heartbroken in the past, and I think you're ready to kind of assimilate your power. I think you also understand that, you know, you're not going to be ruled by the past. This Emperor is quite interesting. He's a barefoot Emperor. He looks like some kind of like some kind of hippie guy. He doesn't look like he'd be too domineering. But he feels like he would rule with a kind heart. And it's almost like you know your boundaries, and you know that you're not going to accept anything less than what you truly deserve. It's interesting, even though you got the same cards as pile 1, the message is very, very different. Here, I think you're waiting until you're ready to experience that full kind of sense of feeling confident again. You're working your way up to being confident. You're working your way up to becoming better within yourself, and you're understanding yourself a bit better. But I think you know that you've got work to do, basically. You're on the path, basically. God, always the same pile 3, right? Always my pile 3s. They always have this thing. They're the ones who are the veterans. They are the veterans. Oh, I love you, pile 3. Okay, so I'm such a wannabe of a pile 3. I'm not. I don't know. Sometimes I resonate. So 4 of Swords reversed. Yeah, you know it's time to kind of move now. You know it's time to work through that. You know, it's almost like you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt, you've got it. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I really, really like it. Ace of Pentacles reversed. You haven't really missed out on opportunities. Don't feel like you have. You haven't. I think you might feel like you have, but I don't think that you have. You know, everything has its own time. That's another thing that I get with like the rose as well, because with rose, there's that sense. I just dropped a card, so I'm just getting it. With rose, there's that sense of like, the most beautiful things take time, right? They take time, and they take energy, and they take it's like a fine wine. 5 of Swords reversed. Interesting. Sorry, 5 of Swords upright. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm just saying the word reverse because I feel like it, I think. 5 of Swords upright. You understand, you win some, you lose some. And sometimes you just can't win certain things. And it's a small loss. You're not really that bothered by it. Yeah, the ego has been damaged a little bit. I'll tell you what it reminds me of, and I'll share something with you. Like when you go and you're going out on dates, and you know there's everything, you know, you're told that you're really amazing, you're told that you're really beautiful, or you're told that you're a catch, but then people don't go for you, so it's a rejection, right? And it can hurt the ego. It can really hurt the ego. So but here you're accepting the defeat. And it is painful because we have 3 of Swords here. We have 3 swords, you know, 3 swords that are attacking, 3 swords that are doing the hurting. Usually in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, it's got 3 swords that are down and 2 with the guy holding it up. So it's almost like, you know, this is everything that I have to say, and that's all I'm going to say, with the 2 that are upright, and the 3 are kind of like on the floor, the damage that is done. And the 3 is quite sad. So, you know, it's understandable. It's understandable that there is this kind of like sense of, and also we go from the 4 to the 5, you know. You took a chance. You took a chance on doing something that might have been outside your comfort zone. It might have been something that you took a chance, and it didn't quite manifest. But you're going through that, and you know that's why the prosperity is reversed. It may be to do with love. It also may be to do with you trying out something in the respect of a business. Maybe trying to get into a school or college, and then you were turned down. A job, yeah, you were turned down. But remember, rejection is protection and redirection, my friend. Queen of Wands as well. You know how to manifest your true desires, and you know how to do this. You know that it's like you know that, you know, what wasn't meant for me won't stay with me. You know all of the adages. You know all of the kind of like spiel that goes with it. Doesn't mean it doesn't hurt though, does it? So yeah, Queen of Wands is clarified by the King of Wands. Yeah, sorry, Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands, I mean, that's interesting. That's really interesting. I see you definitely manifesting your true potential here, understanding yourself really well. Honestly, I'm just getting the thing of maturing like a fine wine. It takes time. Don't uncork the bottle yet until it's truly ready. Don't open the oven door until it's truly ready. Or not even that when it's truly ready, but it's almost like a sauce or, as I said, a wine or a cheese. I quite like the idea of a wine or a sauce though, as opposed to a cheese. But like it kind of gets better with age. It gets better with, you know, things just get more ripened, more beautiful. Here's a good analogy. I saw this thing about this woman playing what was it? A £300 cello, and then a £500,000 cello. And the £500,000 cello was about 200-300 years old. Maybe even more than that. I think it was probably about like 500 years old. It was from the 1700s. Yeah, it was like really old. And the sound was just phenomenal compared to the one that was just made 50 years ago, or maybe even just recently, like a brand new one. So it's like that. Wow, Two of Pentacles reversed. You may be trying everything and anything you can. Another analogy I could think of is if you're desperate for work, and instead of concentrating on the job that you really want, you get desperate for money. So then you start to, like, even though you could make like quite a lot of money concentrating on what you are supposed to do and refining that, you kind of get a little bit like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So you just go for any kind of job and kind of dissipate your energy. And that's why this 2 is here. You know, with this 2 in particular, you can see that this person here is like balancing these 2 balls here. And it's almost as if, I don't know, I feel like there's people, he's in the spotlight, or this character is in the spotlight. So it's that sense of really balancing and being really good at it. Whereas like if it's reversed, I find it that it's not like that. I find it's almost like a kind of like free for all. You're just desperately trying everything and anything that you can in order to get things together, to do things. So don't, you know, just be aware of your energy. Your energy is precious. You're very precious, Pile 3. 5 of Wands is clarifying the world. I think you feel a little bit like intimidated by the competition. But, you know, it's part of the game. It's part of you getting out there and meeting new people. And not everybody is going to be fighting against you. People are going to be working with you. People are going to be working for you. People are going to be working alongside you. So I think it's important to remember that as well. Like, there's just so much more to explore in this world. So many different types of people. Don't limit yourself, Pile 3. And the last card is the 9 of Cups. Nice, the Chariot. You're simmering your dreams, right? You're simmering. You're simmering. This is very much my vintage pile that are waiting for the right moment to ripen. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The Aries card is getting me though a little bit with this Fool card. So what I'm thinking is that there's something about acting impulsively, and that's why clarity and prosperity are reversed, because the impulse to act is stopping you from being clear and making good judgments. That's why the 2 is reversed, because it seems like you're just acting irrationally. The clarity is not there, and it seems like you're providing something of quite a high amount of value, so you have to be careful with it, you know. What's that saying? Don't throw pearls before swine. So it's that kind of thing. Let's see what other messages you have. You have love, forgiveness. Yeah. Aww. Pile 3, forgive yourself. Give yourself an opportunity to forgive yourself. Just before you go to bed, yeah? Just as you approach the hypnagogic state, which is the state just between awake and dreaming, just tell yourself that you love yourself and that you care for yourself. Tell your inner child that you love yourself. And ask if you could have some dreams of how to love yourself and care for yourself. That'll be a good way for you to tune into inspiration, like the Neptunian energy of that space. Also, if you were to do a shower, when you take a shower, shower yourself with maybe some rose scented oils, something that's going to really help you to kind of nourish yourself and love yourself. And it will help you to bring clarity, and it will bring around the prosperity that you really do deserve. Okay, wow. The thinking mind acts like it's everything, but it's not. Wow, look at that. The thinking mind acts like it's everything, but it's not. You consist of a windpipe, lungs, stomach, liver, kidneys, spleen, intestines, the rest of the body. So there's so much more to you than what other people think, and also what you think. There's just so much more. So this is telling you, can you give yourself a big hug, please, and tell yourself that you're this beautiful rose, please, pile 3, because you are gorgeous. You are gorgeous. Don't forget it. Don't, please, because we need you. I hope you enjoyed that, pile 3. Sending you a big cuddle. And yeah, I just wish you all the best. Lots of love. And I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, you take care and have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'll see you soon. Bye.